Hey everyone, it's Reverie, and wow, it is really good to be back on this channel again. I'm not going to waste your time with the incredibly convoluted tales of my last few months, but I'm glad to say that I am back to making content on this channel. You all have been so amazing to me over the past year on this channel, I honestly cannot thank you all enough. With that being said, let's get right into the review. I hope you all enjoy, and please let me know your opinion on this type of album review content in the comment section below. Peace! If you've been following the music scene in this fandom for even a small amount of time, you probably know what the Ponies at Dawn project is. And if you've been living under a rock since their first release back in March of 2013, Horses at Sunrise is a project headed by Exploding Pony Toast, Francis Face, Aerofire, Kamzi, Nznd, Lutari Fan, and the Timberwolf. That is kinda like Balloon Party if Balloon Party stuck to a more consistent release schedule. Throughout the years of their compilation albums, Equines at Daybreak have consistently raised the bar both in terms of quality in the songs hosted on their ever-expanding discography and the number of new and rising fandom artists showcased on their releases. Their newest release, Voyager, is no exception to this rule by any means, featuring 58 incredible tracks from some of the most amazing musicians I've ever had the distinct pleasure of meeting and talking with. Honestly, these guys are absolutely fantastic musicians and even better people, and I'm so glad this project is going in the way that it is. Take a look at this album cover. Just take a minute to experience the views. Caballos de la Empieza de Mañana doesn't just showcase incredible music, but incredible art as well. This artwork was done by Shamanguli. You can find a link to their DeviantArt page in the description below. I've always been a huge fan of album art, considering through my years as a graphic designer I've had to design over 100 different album covers. So seeing amazing art such as this smack dab on the cover of an absolutely content-rich album is fantastic. Bonus points, guys. Bonus points. But the main aspect of this I want to address here is theme. Voyager finds a theme with the very first song, Awakening by Liaquo, and sticks with it. This album truly is a voyage, with Liaquo providing a mashup/remix of pretty much all of the album tracks as the first song on a 58-track album, giving the listener just tastes and snippets of what is to come. This was a fantastic move for the Ponies at Dawn team to do, as it provides a bit of cohesion to a compilation album, something that, more often than not, is extremely lacking in projects such as these. Compilation albums aren't normally streamlined with any real purpose other than track ordering, but having a mashup of most of the album tracks as the first song gives it a purpose. This wasn't just some project slapped together last minute, it had a purpose, and wow, this album delivers. Really, anyone can enjoy at least part of this album, and most people will appreciate all of it. Basically, every single genre on the spectrum is represented on Voyager, from the gritty bass production of Delora by Undream Panic, Empire Past by Bank Pain, or Horsing Around by Groskar and Next Level Derp, to the zesty summer vibes of, well, Vibes by Kawaii Dash, Peppermint by DJT featuring Puffy, or Among the Stars by That Music Brony, to the incredible acoustic and rock anthems of Run by Silvernote, Carry On by Forever Free Brony, Trojan Pony, and Meta Joker, or Warm Winds by Aurelia featuring Webcake. This album takes the listener on a musical journey through all styles of music, some they might not really even listen to themselves, and it does this all flawlessly. While the genres are interspersed throughout the album, I personally was never caught off guard by or startled by anything going on. I'm pretty sure at least once on pretty much every song I was left saying, whoa. Whether it's because of a wild vocal hook, incredible synth design, or an emotional chord progression, I can't really remember, and I'm honestly wishing I'd written down my thoughts on each individual track as I listened to them for the first time. The only problem that I can see with this album is honestly its length, and I know that sounds like a really contradictory thing to say, especially after gushing about the eclectic tracks and plethora of artists, but honestly, I normally have problems with the length of albums. Keep in mind, I loved every single second of this album, but there are just so many songs, it's hard to remember which ones were which. If this album were divided into a part 1 and part 2, that would be way easier to keep track of, and honestly I've already done that with my iTunes collection, by splitting the album in half at the 29 song mark, and using the other piece of incredible artwork available once you go download the album as the cover for part 2. But length doesn't detract from the overall listening experience, so let's move on to the tracks themselves. In other album reviews, I'll normally go through a track-by-track review of the album, but on a 58-track compilation album such as this, I really only have time to give my standout favorites. So I've picked my personal top few in no particular order. Keep in mind, even if your song isn't on this list, I honestly left every single second of this album, so don't think I'm leaving your track or your favorite tracks out just because I didn't like them as much. These tracks are the tracks I found to just, I don't know, speak with me more on a personal level, and the ones I found I could talk the most about. So in no particular order, let's start with track 12, No More Than This by DJT and Rectifier featuring Pegasus. I'm just not that into you. I'm just not cool. I love this track for how layered it is. Pegasus's vocals are always fantastic, and I'm really liking how he's cut down on the vocal production in this song. In his earlier project Starlight with Proctra, most of his vocals were hidden under a lot of layers of vocoding and effects, and I really appreciate how clear they are in this track. While the rhythm of the lyrics can be a bit awkward at times, the backing track by DJT and Rectifier is a continuation of their usually incredible synth work, beat breaks, and variable chord progressions that made me fall in love with their music in the first place. All in all, this is a track I really enjoyed on my first listen through this album, mainly because of how complex and dynamic it is. It flows incredibly well from one section to the other, and it isn't repetitive. Great work from everyone on this track, and I really hope you collaborate again in the future. Now, track 21 called Falter by Crystal Slave, it is an amazing, emotional track with incredible vocals production from Crystal Slave himself. I know I wasn't the only one excited when Crystal Slave came back from hiatus, and this track really is a testament to his incredible lyrical talent and ability to write coherent songs with incredible sound design. While the percussion can be a slight bit punchy at times, this whole track, clocking in at just under 3 minutes, is a nearly perfect song in a small package. Track 48, entitled Orbit by Thrasher, is an incredible run through instrumental metalcore and gent technical riffing by one of my personal favorite metal musicians in this fandom. Ever since I heard Thrasher's remix of Frozen by Celldweller, I've been following him, and his production value keeps getting better and better. Now you're just showing off with this track, honestly, and I absolutely love it. So will you please stay here, my dear, 'cause I hate the open air. When your breath's not mixed into the oxygen we will breathe, can you feel my heartbeat? I will wait for you if you leave, but if you stay, please stay with me. Please don't go. Track 34 is Dash Torsion with Don't Leave Me, an incredible acoustic rock anthem from an artist I hadn't heard about before this album. This is honestly one of my favorite aspects of Ponies at Dawn, finding artists I had no idea existed and downloading all of their music. Dash Torsion's voice perfectly complements this track. The percussion sits nice and low in the mix with the perfect amount of low end to complement the bass and acoustic guitar, and the introduction of an electric guitar halfway through the track creates a soundscape that is mind-blowingly large. I cannot wait to hear more from you, Dash. BUDZY comes in hot with track 10 on Voyager, his VIP of Surprise Surprise. Honestly, Budzy's wobble-based production skills have always been fantastic to hear progress, and this song is no exception. The drops are wild, the interludes are bouncy, the tempo change is incredible. Yeah, there's a tempo change. It's Budsy, why not? All in all, this is a crazy good heavy track from Budsy. And the last highlight I can do, really, with the amount of time that I have, is track 53, which is Wasted Your Time by Alphaeux, one of my favorite chill artists in this fandom. If any of you know what night driving music is, quote unquote, this is now my quintessential night driving song. The side chaining on the percussion and the high, almost whispery chimes in place of hats and high-end perks give this piece a quality I've almost never heard before in chill music, and I love every single second of this song. From one mostly chill artist to another, absolutely crazy work. And I honestly wish I could talk about every single song on this album, but I just don't have the time as a busy university student, and I doubt any of you would want to sit through that. But I do know that Ponies at Dawn Voyager is a pay-what-you-want album, so there is no excuse to not have this incredible work of art in your hands right now. The link for purchasing this album is in the description down below, and please think about paying even a little bit for it. The proceeds all goes towards the artists involved to help them out, so you're benefiting your fellow fandom friends. All in all, Ponies at Dawn never disappoints on any front. The tracks that were included in their October release, Voyager, flow perfectly, have incredible vocals, mixdowns, and vibes attached to every single one. Aside from the length issue, which I know is completely subjective, I cannot find a single thing that would have to take the task with this album. Ponies at Dawn Voyager gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. Not that my opinion really matters, since this is a compilation album and there will be tracks on there for everyone to enjoy anyway. I want to personally thank all of the musicians who volunteered their time and talents towards the Ponies at Dawn project to create such a fantastic final product, and I look forward to seeing your tracks and working with many of you for the next release. Onwards and upwards. Hey guys, thank you so much for sitting through my entire review of Ponies at Dawn Voyager. If you enjoyed this style of video or just want to tell me your thoughts on having non-countdown content featured on this channel, let me know in the comment section down below. You can also follow me on Instagram or Snapchat. Links are also in the description and on screen right now if you want more updates as to what I'm working on in terms of this channel and just, hang out with me a little bit. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate this fantastic art of this OC? These were all done by Featherlight, one of my best friends in the entire world and one of the best artists I've ever seen in this fandom. Links to her DeviantArt or Instagram are also in the description below. At the moment, I am planning on doing more album reviews for Pony Music content. Hopefully my next one will be single artist related, but please know that I'm not trying to give undue promotion to my friends or artists I enjoy or anything like that. I'm just trying to share and review albums that I personally care about. There are, of course, going to be some that I give lower ratings to, and keep in mind this is all purely subjective, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Anyway, thank you all so much for welcoming me back onto this channel after so long of me being busy, and I love you all, and I cannot wait to see all of you at Everfree. Reverie out.